Henry II, architect of Angevin, England, the early years. Henry II of England, 1133 to 1189, the first Plantagenet king, was a transformative figure in medieval Europe, whose legacy is deeply rooted in his legal reforms, territorial ambitions, and the enduring complexities of his personal life. To fully understand the man who would shape the Angevin Empire, it is essential to explore his formative years and the distinct qualities of his physical appearance and personality. Henry's early life, set against the backdrop of political turmoil, and his striking character traits, captured vividly by contemporaries, offer profound insights into his rise as a formidable leader and the architect of one of the most expansive domains of the medieval period. Henry II's early years, 1133 to 1149, foundations of a dynasty. Family background: Geoffrey Plantagenet's ambitions and Matilda's resolve. Henry II was born on March 5, 1133, in Le Mans, the product of a union marked by strategic foresight and dynastic ambition. His father, Geoffrey Plantagenet, Count of Anjou, was a resolute leader whose territorial ambitions extended beyond the confines of Anjou, Maine, and Touraine. Geoffrey's calculated marriage to Matilda, daughter of King Henry I of England, sought to unify their claims and expand Plantagenet influence across Western Europe. Despite their often strained relationship, Geoffrey was significantly younger than Matilda. Their shared determination provided the foundation for Henry's eventual ascension. Matilda, known as the Empress due to her earlier marriage to Emperor Henry V of the Holy Roman Empire, was a paragon of resolve. Following her father's death in 1135, her claim to the English throne was contested by her cousin Stephen of Blois, igniting a protracted civil war known as the Anarchy. Matilda's ceaseless efforts to assert her rights were not merely personal but underscored her commitment to securing a stable and enduring dynasty for her progeny. Consequently, Henry's formative years were shaped by the volatile interplay of his parents' ambitions, instilling in him an acute understanding of power dynamics, familial legacy, and the necessity of unwavering leadership in the pursuit of sovereignty. The union between Geoffrey and Matilda was emblematic of the broader geopolitical tensions of 12th century Europe. Geoffrey's ambitions were grounded in consolidating and expanding Angevin influence, which included strategic alliances through marriage and calculated campaigns against regional rivals. Matilda, meanwhile, represented the convergence of imperial and Norman claims, bringing with her a legacy of governance from her time as Empress of the Holy Roman Empire. Their respective ambitions often clashed within their marriage, but their shared vision for their son's future reinforced a singular focus on establishing a dynasty capable of ruling a fragmented England. The Anarchy: Lessons in Crisis and Leadership. The Anarchy, 1135 to 1154, was a period of prolonged civil war and fractured governance that profoundly influenced Henry's development. Following King Stephen's seizure of the throne, England descended into chaos, with allegiances divided between Stephen and Matilda. The instability, characterized by sieges, battles, shifting alliances, and widespread lawlessness, left an indelible mark on the young Henry. Henry's exposure to the conflict began at an early age, accompanying his mother during her campaigns to reclaim her inheritance. These experiences were formative, offering him an intimate understanding of the intricate challenges of medieval warfare, including the logistics of moving armies, the importance of fortifications, and the psychological dimensions of siege warfare. One of the most significant episodes was the Siege of Oxford in 1142, during which Matilda famously escaped under the cover of night, traversing the frozen Thames. Such moments not only highlighted Matilda's ingenuity but also underscored the high stakes of leadership in times of crisis. These lessons would shape Henry's own approach to military and political strategy, particularly his focus on adaptability and decisive action. The pervasive disorder of the Anarchy illuminated the perils of weak centralized authority. Stephen's inability to impose order demonstrated the inherent vulnerabilities of a fragmented realm, a reality that deeply informed Henry's later emphasis on administrative reform and legal standardization. The fluidity of alliances during this period also provided Henry with a pragmatic education in political negotiation. He observed firsthand the importance of balancing coercion and conciliation, lessons that he would later employ to great effect in unifying his realm and asserting control over a fractious nobility. Education, shaping a statesman. Henry's education was comprehensive and meticulously designed to prepare him for the multifaceted demands of kingship. Recognizing the importance of intellectual and practical training, his parents ensured that he was instructed by some of the most distinguished scholars of the period. Henry's curriculum included the study of classical texts by Cicero, Aristotle, and Seneca, providing him with a foundation in rhetoric, ethics, and governance. These writings shaped his intellectual approach to rulership, particularly his commitment to justice and the rule of law. A key component of Henry's education was his exposure to Roman legal principles, which informed his later innovations in English common law. The emphasis on codified systems of justice resonated deeply with Henry, inspiring his efforts to create a more standardized and equitable legal framework for his subjects. His intellectual pursuits also extended to ecclesiastical writings, reflecting his understanding of the intricate relationship between secular and religious authority. In addition to academic training, Henry's education emphasized military strategy and physical endurance. He was trained in the intricacies of fortifications, siege warfare, and battlefield tactics, all essential skills for a medieval ruler. Contemporary accounts frequently highlight Henry's extraordinary stamina and energy, traits cultivated during this rigorous upbringing and critical to his later effectiveness as both a military commander and an itinerant administrator. The physical demands of his education complemented his intellectual development, creating a leader capable of navigating the complexities of medieval governance with remarkable agility. Equally significant were Henry's lessons in diplomacy and interpersonal negotiation. His ability to articulate a vision and rally support was evident even in his youth, earning him the admiration of his followers and the respect of his adversaries. This synthesis of intellectual depth, practical training, and interpersonal acumen prepared Henry to navigate the multifaceted challenges of medieval rulership with unparalleled effectiveness. Early campaigns, the England invasion of 1147. In 1147, at just 14, Henry embarked on his first independent military campaign to assert his family's claim to the English throne. Commanding a modest force of mercenaries, he crossed the Channel to challenge King Stephen. Although the campaign ultimately faltered due to inadequate resources and support, it showcased Henry's emerging strategic acumen and personal courage. This audacious endeavor was a testament to Henry's determination and precocious sense of responsibility. The campaign, despite its logistical challenges, underscored his willingness to take calculated risks in pursuit of his objectives. It also highlighted the importance of resource management and coalition building, lessons that would prove invaluable in his later military and political efforts. Henry's leadership during this period earned him the respect of his followers and cemented his reputation as a rising power in the ongoing conflict. Moreover, the 1147 campaign offered Henry an opportunity to test his mettle in the complex arena of medieval warfare. From coordinating the movement of his forces to negotiating with potential allies, Henry demonstrated an aptitude for strategic thinking that belied his youth. While the campaign's immediate objectives were not realized, the experience reinforced Henry's resolve to continue his pursuit of the throne, laying the groundwork for his eventual success. 1149 – Knighthood and diplomatic alliances. In 1149, a pivotal moment in Henry's early career unfolded when he was knighted by King David I of Scotland in Carlisle. This act was far more than a ceremonial milestone. It was a calculated assertion of legitimacy and a strategic alliance between the Angevin and Scottish crowns. By securing David's support, Henry bolstered his position against Stephen and reinforced his claim to the English throne. The knighthood also carried broader implications for Henry's development as a leader. it conferred upon him the recognition necessary to command greater respect among the Anglo-Norman barons. Additionally, this episode highlighted the significance of medieval political networks, where personal relationships and symbolic gestures played critical roles in cementing authority and alliances. For Henry, the ceremony symbolized his transition from a precocious youth to a leader ready to engage in the high-stakes world of medieval politics. Appearance and personality. Contemporary descriptions. Contemporaries such as Gerald of Wales and Walter Map provide vivid insights into Henry's physical presence and temperament. Gerald described him as of medium height, with a robust and muscular build, exuding vitality and strength. His unruly red hair, inherited from his Norman lineage, was emblematic of his restless and energetic disposition. Walter Map remarked on his piercing grey eyes, which conveyed both intelligence and intensity, traits that often left a lasting impression on those who encountered him. Henry's demeanor was equally distinctive. Known for his boundless energy, he was often described as physically incapable of remaining still. This relentless activity was a double-edged sword. While it fueled his tireless work ethic, it also contributed to impulsive decisions. His sharp wit and volatile temper, frequently remarked upon by his contemporaries, added further complexity to his character. Illustrative anecdotes. Henry's impetuous temper was infamous. One well-known anecdote recounts how, in a moment of rage, he threw himself onto the floor, gnashing his teeth and tearing at the rushes. Such episodes reveal the intensity of his emotions and his ongoing struggle to temper them. Yet, these outbursts were counterbalanced by moments of calculated restraint, evidencing his capacity for strategic thinking when the stakes were highest. Equally notable was Henry's indefatigable work ethic. He personally oversaw legal cases, often presiding over judgments for hours on end. His itinerant court, which traversed his territories, enabled him to maintain direct oversight of governance. This hands-on approach earned him a reputation for diligence and justice, even as it placed considerable strain on his subordinates, who struggled to match his relentless pace. Interpersonal dynamics. Henry's personality significantly shaped his relationships with key figures in his life. His charisma and intellect earned him admiration, yet his fiery temper and relentless demands frequently caused friction. Within his family, his authoritarian tendencies led to deep-seated conflicts with his wife, Eleanor of Aquitaine, and his sons, who resented his efforts to control their futures. His relationship with the church was equally fraught. While his administrative reforms strengthened royal authority, they often brought him into conflict with ecclesiastical leaders, most notably Thomas Becket. Henry's impatience and volatility exacerbated these tensions, culminating in the notorious murder of Becket in 1170. With his barons, Henry balanced respect with suspicion. While his ability to inspire loyalty was undeniable, his centralizing policies alienated certain factions. Nevertheless, his strategic acumen and magnetic leadership enabled him to maintain a precarious equilibrium, consolidating power without igniting widespread rebellion. Public persona versus private struggles. In public, Henry exuded confidence and decisiveness, captivating audiences with his eloquence and commanding presence. His ability to connect with individuals across the social spectrum was a cornerstone of his leadership. However, his public composure often masked private turmoil. His temperamental nature and unrelenting drive strained relationships within his inner circle and contributed to the familial and political discord that characterized his later years. By 1149, Henry had already demonstrated many of the attributes that would define his reign: strategic brilliance, an unwavering commitment to justice, and an unyielding determination to assert his authority. These early experiences not only prepared him to claim the English crown but also forged the foundation of one of medieval Europe's most consequential reigns. Thanks for listening. Like, comment, and subscribe to Medieval Chronicles 1066 for more explorations in medieval history. Stay curious.